Welcome back, Keira.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Wonderful to see you again. Our last talk was so interesting.
Yeah.
I thought we'd do it again.
Okay. Well, I had a little bit more to say, a little bit different of a
I'd love to hear it.
approach. Okay.
What were your thoughts after doing our first talk?
Oh, well, I've never had that many people ever comment or say anything about me in my whole life. It was a lot. It could be kind of hard to take. I don't know how people do it. But like, one of the reasons, I don't know why you chose me, but one of the reasons I thought you did, and I really appreciated it, was you let me tell, like, what it's like for the child, you know, like my mom being a meth addict, like choosing to not get her high school diploma, choosing to marry and divorce so many times and all those things, like just the consequences for the children. And I really appreciated that. But as I've been thinking about it, I'm glad everyone listened to my story. I'm glad you gave me the platform for it. But I was thinking about especially sometimes when, life is hard and sometimes miserable and I don't really want to do it anymore, about how there's somebody else who also suffered the consequences of my mother's choices and my father, not being a part of my life at all, and not paying child support, not raising me. And it was actually taxpayers. And I always come back to this when I, unfortunately, sometimes feel sorry for myself. And I mean, my stories are a dime a dozen anyway, but you feel very alone when you're going through it. But yeah, I am a result of food stamps and Medicaid paying for a hospital with a doctor that could deliver me and give me vaccinations. I don't have polio, I actually should have lost all of my front teeth in the front. I had something that made my teeth come in really weird, and normally those programs wouldn't pay for braces or anything, but they did because my teeth came in so bad from whatever, I don't know, that it was encroaching on the roots of the other teeth and they should have fallen out. So I should have been I mean, I'm already a buck tooth and cow-licked bastard child, but
no, you look beautiful and perfect.
And now, but I mean, that took a lot of work on my end, but the reason that I'm here is because of all of that.
Yeah, but the fact that you are breaking the cycle that your parents kind of put in front of you, put you on.
Yeah.
You broke that, and that's a beautiful story always.
Yeah.
In my book.
And rare. And I think I definitely did my own work, and I want people to know it's been a struggle, and definitely just holding on by my fingernails most of the time and trying to outwit myself to get through another day and everything. And so I have not been perfect. Me and all of my siblings, we've all had our own divorce. We've each had a divorce. Obviously, had to go through some therapy. Probably could have used more, but I couldn't afford it. But yeah, I think I just wanted to also credit that I'm as well off as I am, or turned out as well as I did, which a lot of people who saw my story or meet me, they're there's no way, she's lying, and that's okay. I get it, but I had a foster family that kind of saved my life at 15. And they weren't perfect. They were human, and they were definitely odd, because they were Mormon in Utah. But they were just such a world of a difference for me, and their influence meant the world to me, even though I'm very different than them, and I'm sure I'm very difficult for them to deal with. If they ever talk to me, it's probably pretty hard. But just to step into a different world where they didn't babysit their kids by making them watch television all day. That I sat there and I didn't have to worry if like the rent was going to be paid or the mortgage was going to be paid in their case.
My dad was giving me a hard time about not watching the news enough, so naturally I gave him a hard time right back. I told him most of what we're shown is designed to alarm us, not inform us. And that's why I asked Ground News to sponsor my channel. Ground News is an app and website that helps you form your own opinions by showing you every article published on any story worldwide. My favorite part is how it breaks down each news source's political bias, reliability, and even ownership, so you can actually see where your information is coming from. Let me show you how it works. Here's a story about the Palisades fires in Los Angeles. Ground News shows that 13 outlets covered it, most leaning slightly right. You can instantly see who owns these outlets, how reliable they are, and how differently they frame the same event. Some headlines focus on firefighter decisions, others on weather and risk. Same story told through two very different lenses. I also like their blind spot feed. It highlights stories that are covered heavily by one side but ignored by the other. It's a simple way to step outside your own echo chamber. So if you're tired of being told what to think, check them out at ground.news/SWU. You'll get 40% off their Vantage plan, and by subscribing or even gifting it to someone, you're supporting independent thinking and this channel directly. Again, that's ground.news/SWU. Thank you for watching.
The fact that when I had questions, I had someone who was willing to give me their time, because I don't think foster parents make a lot of money. They're just doing it because they care. And so, obviously your audience is a lot of different things, but some of them are going to be social workers. Some of them are going to be foster parents. Some of them will be teachers, coaches, neighbors. And I really wanted to help them understand that what they do, it does make a difference. I think.
Definitely it does.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear my stories and you hear so many stories about terrible parenting and terrible people, pimps, pedophiles, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, there are so many like angels out there.
Yeah.
That are just quietly doing wonderful things for kids and for other people, that it's a shame those stories don't get shared more often.
Yeah.
But there are tons of people doing really beautiful things.
Yeah, and I don't think they're the type to really come on in front of
they're
any
not,
camera.
They're not really looking for attention or
no,
a pat on the back or anything. They're just taking care of business and doing a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
making the world a better place, really.
Yeah, and I have some friends that have chosen to be foster parents, and they're exhausted. Like they're not flying around the world or relaxing or really thinking about even next week. They can't, because they have a foster kid and it could happen at any moment. One lands, one doesn't. Same thing with teachers. Like a lot of teachers reported abuse or saved my life. Or just encouraged me. I think you think sometimes that you do a little something and it doesn't matter, or it doesn't make that big of an impact, but I think it does. I think anything, even if you think it's wasted, even if you think it's small, it's probably not. Because I was one of those kids that would come to school to be loved, not to learn. I mean, I loved learning, but when you come to school for love, the tiniest way that your teacher has approval for you or encouragement for you means the world, or just their calm demeanor or their example matters a lot. It just feels like a second mother away from home, I think. But yeah, and it wasn't just, a huge example was my granny, but she couldn't always be there and she was disabled. She couldn't always take on 5 kids and feed them, but yeah, I had social workers. There are nurses out there that have to mandatory report things that they see if someone comes into the hospital. So there's just a lot of people who aren't standing here right now, or probably would never want to sit in this chair right now. But I selfishly just want to take this time to thank them and talk about them. So
That's beautiful. No, when you told me that's why you wanted to come in, I was like, yeah, let's do that, because so many of my talks are so dark and so full of stories of evil and just terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to hear a talk about gratitude and someone being appreciative of the things they were given.
And I mean, people encounter this whenever they do, but it is kind of near Thanksgiving and Christmas, so
there you go.
I think it's needed right now.
Maybe
in
I'll
this world.
post this on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh yeah, a nice gratitude message instead.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad. But if I could just, if you don't mind, I would just like to thank every single person. I would like to. There's doctors who are working in hospitals with like Medicaid wages. I'm sure Medicaid doesn't pay very much for them, but they delivered me all the same and gave me the same treatment, and I got checked, vaccinated, everything. I'm deaf in one ear, which is why sometimes you'll see me like try to read your lips or like lean in or something, trying to hear. And that appointment to like determine why I was so different or weird or acting really weird, that was all paid for. The fact that I have teeth in my skull right now, the fact that I have, a pair of old hearing aids is because of like voc rehab, Obviously, I'm grateful for an education, and I'm glad that I can read. I know there are so many girls in the world who are born that don't get that chance, and let alone that, I got to write books, I've written books, I get to speak, I read, and I can pretty much learn or research or teach myself anything if I can just read. And so, I can't always afford therapy or a doctor's diagnosis, but I can try and read about it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Especially nowadays, there's so many opportunities to learn and better yourself.
Yeah, I'm grateful that people put their information online just for free, just to try and help, try to combat ignorance, because ignorance has really ruined my life. It's probably been the single most devastating thing, because when you don't know, you have no idea, like, oh, this is abuse, this qualifies as abuse. I should tell my mom that and see what happens. I would tell her all the time, like, why are we always short on money? There's this thing that rich people do, and it's called like a budget. And of course she was so mad at that. But I had seen the example of my neighbors, like even neighbors like can get involved. They can invite you over for snacks or tamales in the case of my Guatemalan neighbors, and they can tell you they have like a VHS yoga tape and then ask you like, why were the paramedics over at your house yesterday? And then I can say, oh, my mom swallowed a whole bunch of pills in front of us and tried to cut her wrists. And then they can go, okay, this is something that I think I need to report to someone. So obviously, living in Utah for some of the time that all happened, there were Mormon bishops, but there's also Catholic Community Services. There's Utah Foster Care Foundation that helped. There's this program called Sub for Santa for people who can't afford to give their kids presents. I'm sure there's something similar in every state, but that was really special, because you kind of figure out pretty soon when you're poor that Santa isn't real, because Santa's presents look exactly like what you would probably get on your mom's budget. And so it was kind of magical to have times where it's like, there's no way Santa has to be real, because there's no way I could afford jeans like this, But I think that a lot of people, and I don't mean to be like political, but I've noticed that a lot of people, especially like liberal types or Democratic types, which I love and I lean that way sometimes too, they think that it's all a money issue. You just have to have more money to throw at the problem. And I do think that, money is really helpful. I think my life would have been completely different if that had happened. But I think that the Republicans or the conservative types, the people that I see, like at least in my state, like going to church. They also bring up a good point of there needs to be more than that. There needs to be a community. People usually stay sober. People usually, don't beat their kids, or at least try to do so less because it's going to get reported if they have people watching over them. Or like if you're going to give someone flour and sugar and rice, but they don't know how to cook, they don't know how to make bread, they don't know how to cook rice from scratch. All they know is like instant rice and boxed mac and cheese. There's still an ignorance and a lack of support that I don't think any amount of money could fix. So because we're social creatures, I think we do need each other and we need a community. So I do think that a lot of money has been poured into me. Like, braces are way expensive and education is way expensive. But the more impactful thing has been people's time. It has been teachers who are way overworked and don't get paid nearly enough, who are spending, their off hours reporting. I know because I've worked in schools and I have reported abuse. And you do it in your off times and it's a hard day. Obviously, it's foster families who took me in and gave me their time and their effort and their example. It was a lot of churches that watched out for me and gave free events that, you would come to, little youth activities and stuff. And yeah, they do that all unpaid on a Tuesday night, trying to give you some semblance of fun or whatever when you have a home like that. It's also like I didn't do any sports, but coaches, are huge. They spot things that other people can't. I tried to think about like all the different people that are doing stuff like that right now. And sometimes they really want to be anonymous. Sometimes truly they do not want anyone to know. They'll drop money in an envelope at your house before they'll ever, tell you to your face that they'll help you. I just think there are a lot of good people, and I'm the result of a lot of money, but also a lot of good people. And even though I myself am not religious, I really appreciate the religious community. And I think I lost my faith after probably about a decade or so of being in it. And so they haven't much liked me, but sometimes I'm sure. But I know that they probably think certain things about how I feel about them, but we could all be a little bit more like their example.
Yeah, I think these random acts of kindness, people don't understand that when you do something really kind for somebody, you're not looking for any kind of pat on the back or any kind of any response. You're just doing it for the person's benefit. The person who really benefits the most is the person giving it.
Why do you think that?
I just think it makes your day, week, month, life better by doing kind things for other people. And so many people are just hesitant to do something really generous or kind for someone because like, why do they deserve this help? But I think that it really benefits the person giving it. And people who do that often understand this.
Maybe I need to do more because I've mostly received a lot of it, and it's obviously made my life way better.
You want to make your life better, do something kind for somebody else, and you'll see the benefit.
I think maybe sometimes I do kind things for the wrong reason. Like, well, you obviously need help with this. Let me help you clean it up or something. But you just do it. If you just do it because no other motivation, then it's just the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do. It makes the world a better place. It makes that person's life and day better. And that in turn makes your life better. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I just didn't think about turning that around. I mostly was just thinking about like how for the last, 3 decades I've been the result of so many different people. But I'm glad they have, and I hope that people listen to me and do exactly what you said. Like, I hope they know that it doesn't need to be like a really big thing. Like, I never had a teacher that had so much money that they just made all my problems go away. I never had rent money on my doorstep, just a chunk of several $100s on my doorstep or something, even though I kind of internally prayed about it, like, please, well, I don't want to be homeless again. But yeah, I've been on people's floors, in trailer parks, like people who have too many ferrets, and like, that's what's weird is like there are people who commented on my video, my other one, and they would say things that I'm like, holy shit, they're right. Like, I had it pretty bad. A lot of people who hear my story are like, oh, that's really horrible. But the people that were worse off than me, that my mom were friends with, that I would, go to their house or whatever, yeah, they're probably not making it out. I don't think. I haven't been able to find them, so I don't know. But I mean, the fact that I'm here today is kind of a rarity. Like, literally, you just wash dishes because they're like, yeah, we have a rat problem because of the ferrets, and the parents are in there doing meth for who knows how long, leaving the kids unattended, and you have to wash every spoon or bowl that you use for cereal because they have some rat problem in the trailer. And so, yeah, I'm better off than them, and I'm not exactly sure why. I always thought that they were probably better off because they owned their own place and they could sell it if they needed to, or they didn't have to pay rent. And I was living in government subsidized housing, but the government subsidized housing, like at least in my state, was a pretty good repair compared to like what you could get on the market that would be more expensive. It would be run down, and maybe the landlord didn't want to fix anything for you, didn't care if there was a mold problem. The government ones, they made sure that the heat was working, and yeah, I feel honestly really spoiled sometimes so, compared to what I saw with all my other friends. So when they say that, they're not wrong. But I guess I just want everyone to know that whatever they do matters. Because there are probably a lot of your viewers that are just ordinary people making not that much, just some teacher or coach or social worker. Mm-hmm. I'm sure a lot of them are drawn to your
I think there are a lot of people who understand that karma is very real. And when you're doing kind things for others, mm-hmm. it comes back to you in some odd and unexpected way.
You're saying your viewers understand that?
I think a lot of people just go through life understanding this.
Oh, yeah.
They're just kind people.
Yeah.
And
it's hard.
And by being kind to others in some weird, unexpected way, it comes back and benefits you as well. Benefits the giver.
Well, I hope so. I don't know how many of my family members and friends would say that I'm the greatest gift back, but I hope so. I don't know. I mean, I want a better place, a better world. But okay, so I have a question for you.
Sure.
Maybe it has to be a certain way to approach kindness and giving, because if you're trying to be a nice girl, like I have been my whole life, that's what ingratiated me to the local Mormon area, and then obviously doing it, trying to like ingratiate yourself is different than just doing it because for no other reason. Like, I don't know, or maybe I'm just still, I have experienced the consequences of my mother's actions for 3 decades, but do you just see the world getting better? Like, at least your world is improving or getting better?
I mean, there are a lot of things going on in the world that can make anyone feel less than optimistic about the future.
Yeah.
But if you just take care of your little corner of the world, you can make that little corner better and brighter.
Yeah.
And if everybody does that, or most people do that, the people that are capable of doing it, do it, you're making the world a better place. And if 500,000 people did that, it would make a significant impact.
I think so too. Like, part of the reason my life was as bad as it was is because a lot of someone's didn't do that.
Right.
Like, my dad was like, no, I'm good. And then
a lot of selfish
had a
people.
great life for himself somewhere else,
There's a lot of selfish people out there.
Yeah. Or like my mom.
But the karma comes back to snap them in the ass.
Yeah.
It just does.
Maybe it just hasn't been long enough, because it seems like a lot of people are doing well that, I don't know, maybe I'm just younger and inexperienced. It seems like a lot of bad people seem to be doing a lot better than me. Or even the good people.
It seems to me like everybody gets what's coming to them.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
I hope so. But that also means that I hope so for a lot of people who've been really good to me. I hope they have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they're perfect, and I'm not, but they've been really good. I hope good things come, and I hope they're kind to others in return. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've seen some things that are like finally coming out in the news, in the world, where bad people, like, what you do that's bad eventually gets revealed or something. So
well, even if there is not a big news item showing that this person got what was coming to them, the mental wear and tear of knowing that you're a piece of shit, pardon my French, is something you carry in your subconscious all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to go through life just being kind to people and not screwing people over and not doing things that are going to make anyone upset. And it lets me sleep really, really well.
And did you used to be kind to people just because you were supposed to be nice? Like,
no, I'm not, I don't know. It's just the way I was raised. It's not like I'm supposed to do anything. I was raised that way.
Yeah.
So I tend to, like, my mom was super nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Even people that didn't deserve it. And you watch that and you see what the effects are of that and how it melts people.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to do that? There's no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've melted a lot of icy people. Like, just angry parents at the school I work at.
Yeah, and there are some people who are just really difficult to get through to, and you just have to kind of steer away from them. But even a lot of the people you think are hopeless, I tend to still have hope for. Because I like miracles. I'm really into seeing miracles happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be nice.
And like, I don't know how well you know my channel, but like Rebecca, the transgender
I've seen
person who's on my channel that everyone is hung up on, and I think right now everyone's concerned because somebody on social media said he's dead. He's not dead. We saw him this weekend.
Oh, good.
So he's around.
Yeah.
But he's not going to do anything to make his life better. He's not cooperating with all the people who want to help him.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful that one day he figures it out. He's 28 years old. And at some point, you just realize what you're doing is just wasting your time and energy and making a fool of yourself.
Yeah, I was.
We were all dumb in our 20s.
Well, yeah. Mine was a Mormon 20s, but yeah, it's still very delusional. But I was wondering about that because I guess I have a hard time with you being like, I want to see miracles. I want to be kind, when some of the best things, like, for my health and sanity have been, like, I can't talk to my mom anymore. Like, I haven't talked to her since 2016. She has not been well, and she gets more and more dangerous. And at the time I was pregnant with my last one, and I have 3 sons, and my babies were so little. I was like, I can't have her around me and them. So I don't know. I want to be kind. I just want to do it from a place where I'm in a position of like power and strength to do so, not in a position of like, I don't know, getting some sort of autoimmune disease because I keep trying to be nice over having good, clear boundaries. It doesn't seem like you have a problem with that, but I have, because my childhood has been nothing but a violation of boundaries. Like every minute.
I see that with people in my personal life who, like, I feel very free and easy to do kind things to people and for people and to be helpful without any kind of like blocks or trust issues, because I came from maybe parents who were great. My dad just died this weekend, so that was sad. But it's like you look back at your parents' lives and you see how somehow they chose to do good things for others, and that's just, for a kid, that's like the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
what's weird. Having parents can be the best thing in the world and teach you everything, or it can be the worst thing in the world and mar you for life.
Yeah, and I think that's the purpose of my channel, is to show people how important it is to be a good parent.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not like, oh, let's fix all the drug addicts. It's, my take, which I said in the intro video on my channel, it's to prevent all the drug addicts in the future. Because I don't know how do you fix people who are just adamant that they want to self-destruct, like Rebecca, like
yeah.
Even though I'm still
all the
hopeful,
money in the world.
like he's being so uncooperative in terms of helping himself that it's like I just end up looking stupid by trying to help him. But if you teach people how to maybe be better examples, be better parents, show people a better way to go through life, then maybe the kids will do better for themselves. You teach them self-love and you teach them self-respect, and they end up, when you grow up like that, it's much easier for you to help others.
Yeah.
Because you have so much to give.
Yeah. Mother Teresa, I think, was the one that said, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family.
There you go.
And I guess in addition to the message about thanking everyone who was kind of a village for me, homegrown American psycho here, that turned out okay, trailer trash girl, I guess I would say, yeah, please, please, please love your family. Please do. Please love your daughters and your sons. I think America obviously is struggling with both of them not doing well. They say things about the male loneliness epidemic. They call girls daddy issue type people. But yeah, if I could beg anyone to do anything, it would be to just choose to love, especially your children.
That's the purpose of my videos.
I would agree with that.
That's the purpose of this channel.
And that's coming from you, who had good parents who tried their best, and getting to see the other side. And that comes from me, coming from the wrong side of it, and seeing how lovely it was to have neighbors that, like, their families loved each other and their moms sewed their Halloween costumes. And by the way, we were in poor neighborhoods. We all had about the same amount of income. We were all on food stamps. We were all on government subsidized whatever. And so when I said that my mom in my last video was evil, the reason I came to that conclusion is not because meth makes all people evil. I'm sure there are a lot of happy drunks, happy meth people. There was something about her that she truly just did not love us. She was very angry. She was very selfish. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was wrong. I know lots of people who can be happy drunks. My stepdad was on meth, and he was the nicest person, which is kind of weird. My stepdad, that was a drug addict who sold the drugs in Provo, was very, very nice person. And no matter how drunk he got, he was always kind. So there's something in people. I'm not saying addicts are mean or bad. I'm not saying meth is even mean or bad, although it does seem to be the worst drug. Yeah. Not that I've tried it, but it seems awful. It seems to turn you.
On that drug.
Yeah. But something was wrong with my mom. She was evil. She liked to I mean, people do the stone cold sober too, but people like to, on the influence, when they're angry, they like to torture. They love to be cruel. She would say the meanest things to me. She never made me feel all that special or pretty, but she would say something like, you might be pretty on the outside, but you're not, you're ugly on the inside, or something. And I'm like, but first of all, I was like, oh, my mom thinks I'm pretty. Wow. That's a thought I never had before, because she was really pretty. Or she would say, I can be your best friend or your worst enemy, to try and get me to comply in some way. And so I've spent my whole life complying. So I'm totally a wreck. I think people thought with my last video, she must have no problems. I had a total faith crisis when my baby went into the NICU. I was like, oh my gosh, if I've been fooling myself this whole time. And nobody's perfect, and churches do a lot of scandals, but they also have helped the poor too. So I'm grateful they have a place in society, and I'm grateful for all the people who have donated their time and everything to do it. But yeah, there are just some evil people, and drugs or alcohol might bring that out in them, but they are truly bad. Or even just a stressful situation. I've seen a lot of people become kind of awful when put under stress. They've shown me horrible sides of themselves that I didn't think were possible, and they didn't even need a substance to do it. So my mom, I don't know what happened with her. I don't know why I got that kind of mom. But I'm trying to not be anything like her as a mom. Nothing like her. I don't want my kids to witness their mom trying to commit suicide in front of them. I don't want them to hear little bumper sticker phrases that she would say to me that are so awful. I don't want to ever have them have their mother hit them, hurt them, flip them off, spit on them, throw water on them, throw objects at them, nothing. Throw alcohol bottles and make holes in the wall. I don't want to have them witness their mother shove whatever latest John she's got into the bathtub and hit his head on the clawfoot toilet or the clawfoot tub and bloody his head and stuff, punching holes through doors to get to somebody who's locked themselves away, tearing hair out, calling someone a whore or a slut. None of that. I don't want any of that. I don't know why any mother would do that. As a mother myself, I don't know how you could ever get to that point. I truly think she was impoverished and stressed and completely unregulated and definitely mentally ill, on top of a drug that probably makes you crazy anyway. But I hope everyone just tries a little harder to be a better parent. If they hear my story, yeah, sure, it is possible somehow with thousands, hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars and a whole bunch of people kind of creating this quilt blanket out of any kindness that they can give, which, by the way, is so wonderful and still not enough, because my heart is always broken. It will always be broken. It will never go away. I wish I could say that to people listening to this, it'll get better and everything's okay. There'll never be a day you don't think something will happen, you get the pink slip at your job and you're like, yeah, because your mom can't even love you, so of course nobody else is going to. No one's going to take a chance on you. No one's going to think you're worth keeping around. Every time there's a snicker or someone invites someone and not you, it could be anything. And sure, those are small things, but over a lifetime, when you're a small child till now, you can see why a whole bunch of people don't really want existence. I'm sorry, it's so hard to pay rent. It's so hard to go to a job where you don't matter anyway. But then on top of it, to be treated like garbage everywhere because you're garbage. You were told that from the time you were little. I'm not trying to brag, but I really do think I'm a 1 in a million shot, and it's only because so many people loved me. It's not even because of the money. It's because somebody gave me a shot, and that includes the father of my children, who's Mormon, and we ended up splitting up. He told me a story to save my life. And so if I could tell anyone who has a similar story like mine, like, it's probably a 1 in a million shot. You definitely need to make sure that you're the statistical anomaly, because there are so many people out there right now on the street. You film them. I should have been one of them. And sometimes I kind of want to be. I want to give up, but I don't. And it's only because enough, and not very many, but enough people have been consistently, if imperfectly, kind, that I am here. And I'm trying to be for my kids. They are truly the only reason that I keep trying. If I didn't have them, which was kind of, I kind of did it because I thought God wanted me to, so I don't know if I would have done it, but I'm really lucky that it happened. Because, I think I seem a certain way because I can talk well or I look nice. But life has been brutal and devastating. And if we could do what you said, like if everyone could try a little bit. Go home, love your families, do a little something. It might make a difference. It might save a life.
It's a beautiful message.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Thank you, Keira.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
Wonderful seeing you again.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. Thanks.